Hello and welcome to a brief tutorial on how to use the FreelyReceive.com worship word software for handling the contents of a church projector during the course of a church service. It enables you to display song lyrics and scriptures during the sermon, that sort of thing, for the congregation to see during the course of a church service. So to get started, just navigate to www.FreelyReceive.com. That's FreelyReceive, one word, RECEIVE.com, and you'll be greeted with this screen, and then you have to either log in or create an account to progress. And once you have logged in, then you will notice that the menu bar will change to be like this. I've already logged in. I was just bringing up that previous screen so that you can see what it looks like. And then once you've logged in, one of the items on the navigation bar will be worship words. So click on that and you will be taken to the worship words software, which is then ready to use. This tutorial is going to cover both creating a schedule of items to display during the course of a church service, as well as actually stepping through the items during the course of the church service. So you've got three sections of the screen here. The first one on the left displays the contents of the current schedule, which is the list of items, for example, songs or chunks of scripture that the pastor might like during the sermon. And the current words section displays the various chunks of words that would be displayed at any one time during the course of an item. So for example, if you select an item, then the current words will change to be the contents of that item. Like a song would have multiple chunks of words that go on the screen at any moment, and you can step through those. And then the live screen is just the chunk of words that is currently on the screen at the moment. So first things first, adding items to the current schedule. To add an item, you just go to the items menu here at the bottom and then click on new. That brings up this screen. You can either enter the contents of an item manually, or you can search the internet for lyrics or scripture. So for example, if we want the lyrics to, let's say, Lord, I lift your name on high. And you can specify the number of lines that you want to display on the screen at any one time here, and it will divide it up for you. So try to find lyrics. I should mention that this lyrics search goes out to the internet. It's not just some database of song lyrics, so they sometimes aren't in the exact format that you would like. So for example, you might want to go over it, make sure that the lyrics are what you expect them to be, get rid of any grammar that you might not want, and if you have some repetition like this or something which you don't need, you can just delete that out as well. And there we have the lyrics for Lord, I Lift Your Name on High, formatted into chunks to display on the screen and ready to go. So we can say create item, and now we have an item in our schedule. And here we have the various chunks that can be displayed on the screen at any one time, ready to go. So I'll just add another item just so I can show you something else. I'll choose scripture this time. There's plenty of different translations that you can search for. New International Version will do us just fine. John 3:16, let's say, and tell it to find the verses, and there we go. It pulls up the verses in the chosen translation. Create the item. Now we've got two items in our schedule. If you wish to reorder the items in the schedule, you can't do this on a mobile device at the moment, but on a desktop you can just click and hold and drag one item in front of the other or behind the other, that sort of thing. Nice and easy. Everything else that you see in this tutorial you can also do from a mobile device, including phones and tablets. So that's how you can create a schedule for a church service. Now we've got, the song, and we've got some scripture for the pastor during their sermon. I will now demonstrate how to render it to a projector so that you can run the church service. So to render it, you click on this little render icon at the bottom here, and that brings up the render window. Now this window, what you want to do is drag it over onto your projector display, or bring up this window on the projector display. Just drag it across, usually to a second desktop or something, whatever it is that you've got going, and then you press F11 on your keyboard, and that will make it full screen. It's a little cut off because I've cropped it for this video, but that's how you get that render window going. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to put it over here and actually go to some browser windows I prepared earlier with the sizing correct. Anyway, as you see over here, it saved all our items, and now you can see that when I step through it, it steps through it on the projector display screen as well. You don't usually have the browser window around it, because when you push F11 on any modern browser, that disappears. So, that's basically it. You can step through the items using the arrow keys on the keyboard. Up and down will step through the items, through the current words chunks, and right and left will go next item, previous item if you like. Or you can just click on the various items, and as you can see, they update very quickly. And one of the nice things about the software is, since it's all web-based, once you've got the schedule ready to go, the pastor can actually control the scriptures on the screen at their own leisure while they're conducting the service. If they have, say, a tablet or their phone in front of them, they can just tap on the different chunks of words or different scriptures, whatever it is, to step through it on the projector screen as well. You can control it both from a computer and from a mobile device at the same time, and there's no trouble with that. So that's a handy feature there. I'll just show you one other thing, which is how to change the font colors and backgrounds. Over here, you've got your options for font and backgrounds. So yeah, you can select a font here. The font color, which is the fill color. So for example, if we want to make it yellow, which people seem to do, you can do that. And this is the glow color at the moment. It's black outline. Black's pretty good really for that. And you can change the background image as well as uploading a new background image, renaming it, or deleting it. And you can select a color instead if you like, which would be perfect for green screening if you want to dub the video of the church or something like that over the top of it or over the bottom of the words. None of these changes display in the render item until you save in the render window until you save the item. But once we've saved that, you can see that our changes are now present on the live screen, and looking pretty good. So if we just full screen that to give you a little look, there you go. That's kind of what it looks like. So yeah, that really concludes the brief tutorial of how to use the software. As you can see, it's fairly straightforward, and I hope you find this useful for your church services.